Hey, y'all, listen, I got an early Sunday live because I got to do some stuff later on this evening, but I figure I'll come to y'all a little earlier during the day. And, let's have our trending topics. And if I guys pop back on tonight, I will. But in the meantime, we're here having a little trending topic show, kind of like mid-afternoon, mid-evening. I don't know, whichever one you want to call it. But listen, I appreciate y'all for coming through. And listen, today's title is very simple. It's called Bad Decisions. We had a title like this before, Bad Decisions. Sometimes people just make bad decisions that really end up costing them a whole lot. In some cases, it costs them everything. Like with Diddy, bad decisions. Costing you everything. Got to watch the decisions you make. So we got this mom, and you know what? To me, it was really a very bad decision for her. Why? Because she has sickle cell disease. So she's vulnerable already as is. So she went on vacation in Jamaica. And shout out to all of y'all that love to do these excursions and all of that when you're on vacation. I said it earlier and I'm going to say it again. I have no need to take a picture with a lion, a tiger, or a bear. For what? So I could post it on the Instagram, the TikTok, the social media, the Facebook, or something like that. No, I'm good. I have zero need. She went swimming with the dolphins. And when she went swimming with the dolphins, one of them propelled her up in the air. She slipped off the dolphin on the fin, and then it hit her in the poom-poom area, her private area, her precious jewels. She had 3 hematomas. 3. Had to have emergency surgery. This happened in Jamaica. And now she's stuck in Jamaica on her own fighting this thing. And for some reason, she says she had no pain meds. I'm like, do they not get pain meds out there? What's going on? She says she's thugging it out. I don't thug out the pain. Y'all need to give me some pain meds and give it to me like right now. I have no need to thug out the pain. Nobody's supposed to be in pain. I'm not going to tough it out or wait it out. I need you to give me the strongest pain med right now, so I can rest while this thing goes away. She's thugging it out. And now her family had to do a GoFundMe because the airlift you anywhere, even when you still in the same state. The airlift you off of some highway to a hospital costs thousands of dollars. Imagine you in a whole nother state and they got to airlift you back somewhere. It's really going to cost you. Probably going to cost about $50,000 to get her airlifted back over here on a medical plane. So she got to GoFundMe because she wanted to go swim with the dolphins. We're going to talk about it. Then we're going to talk about this coach. I don't know what's going on with the coaches and the teachers now, but they are losing their natural mind. If you can no longer handle the profession you're in, then you need to get out of said profession. So the coach snapped. He said the student said something to him. I don't know what the student said, but he yanked her by her ponytail. And of course, because now you know everybody got a mini studio right in the palm of their hand via their cell phone. Lights, camera, action. Everybody can be a producer now. They just simply hit record, and whatever you're doing, it's a wrap. So when you walk outside the door of your home, unless you're sleeping with the enemy, when you walk outside the door of your home, assume everything you're doing, you are being recorded. Good God, you said you are in the money. I know someone recently paid for the medical flight, $50K. $50K. It's a lot of money. So before you pull the wedgie out your butt, assume somebody might be recording you. Everything you do is being recorded. So my thing is, if he snapped during the game was over. But if he snapped in front of all those people and yanked her ponytail, he imagine what he was doing to them in practice. And he's 81. He came out of retirement. He should have stayed retired. But you know what the problem is? All of these schools, whether it's high school, the grade school, kindergarten, all they care about is winning the game. They have a 5-year-old doing 22 laps if they think that's going to help them win the game. It's ridiculous. We got to instill something more in our kids. And we got to teach our kids that if you lose, you're going to be okay. Somebody got to lose. I mean, the girl was boo-hooing. Because she's a senior, I guess because they lost, she boo-hooing. It's not that serious. And in my mind, it never will be. We're going to talk about it, bad decisions. He made a bad decision to even go back and coach at 81. And now, when he left the game originally, he was considered a legend. And now, at 81, his legacy turned into smut. Because now he's going to be known for the coach that grabbed the high schooler by the ponytail. Bad decision. Should have stayed retired. Then you got this comedian, Joe Gatto. Like I said, everybody with the cell phone, whatever you text is written in stone. Some people will save it forever. Forever. Whatever you text, some people will save it forever, and they will, whenever they feel necessary and see fit, they will use it and hold it against you. He's a comedian. A fan came up to him. He's married. He just got back with his wife because they were separated for a minute. And then all of a sudden, the girl that was a fan that came to see his show, she claims that he violated her. She got text messages. She got all kinds of stuff. He said he never violated her. He just had bad judgment. Sir, it's worse than bad judgment. You sitting here knowing you married, you should talk to no one. If you're doing a meet and greet, because I know a lot of stars, they do meet and greets. A lot of these comedians, they do meet and greets afterwards, because that's how they get to help the people to get to know them and maybe follow them and maybe, come see them every time they're in town having a show. But when said girl is meeting you for something to drink, when said girl is meeting you at the hotel room, are any of the big mamas out there still teaching the people growing up? Any parents still teaching their kids and giving them tips? When I was growing up, my grandmother and mother and them used to say, Where you going at 10 o'clock at night? Where you going at midnight? Ain't nothing going down after a certain hour except legs being open. You ain't going nowhere. You know what that meant. Legs being open. You know what it means. We also had a saying, if a man calls you to go out at a certain time, it ain't nothing but a booty call. You know what's good. Somebody text you at 10 o'clock talking about what you doing. I'm going to bed. About to take a shower and lay down. Or I want you to go out. No, if you wanted to go out, you should have called me earlier. Ladies, if they calling you late at night, you know what it is. Don't get over there and then talk about, oh, I thought we was just going to watch a movie. No. Go to nobody's house talking about they're going to watch a movie at 10 o'clock in the night. If you follow a certain celebrity or comedian, you know by looking at their Instagram whether they married, they got a boo, or what they're about. Stop with the nonsense of going to these people's rooms and houses and talking about, I didn't know. You know. You was here for the get down. Because that's why you saved all the texts and you saved the clothes. And I'm not saying this particular girl, but everybody wants a quick payday. And man, y'all stupid. Y'all stupid for continuing to call these people, having, consensual, what you think is sex with them. And then the next thing they know, they got you hemmed up because they saying you violated them. Y'all stupid too. Stop calling perfect strangers to your rooms. Now, I'm fortunate. I ain't never want to have sex with no stranger. I'm not into nobody one night stand, and I ain't judging nobody who is. I don't want to meet you today, sleep with you later on that day. That's not me. And if some more people adopt that, y'all will stop finding yourself in all of this trouble. A woman you don't even know calling you, talking about you pregnant. And to the ladies, you don't even know this man, and now you about to have his baby. It's unfair to your kid too. That they ain't going to get to know their father because you just had it with a random person. Are you on purpose with sleeping with somebody who had money because you wanted a payday? We got to stop the nonsense, and we need the people that's going to come back and tell the people the truth no matter what the people say to them. Stop dropping it low, opening your legs and spreading it wide with somebody you don't even know. Stop going to a hotel room because it's a celebrity. Oh, it's Kevin Hart. Oh, it's Will Smith. Oh, it's this one. Oh, it's that one. I don't care who it is. The party's in my hotel room. I'm good. If the party's at Club 59, 69, and I could whatever, and I could leave when I want to leave and do, I'm not going to no party in nobody's hotel room. Not diva. We got to start having some standards. Tell the kids to have some type of standards. They said if you don't stand for something, you will fall for everything, and they're falling for everything. The oldest trick in the book is meet a man that got some money, get pregnant, have his baby, and now you're getting this big payday through child support. And these stupid athletes, they falling for it every single day. To this day. Tristan Thompson, you didn't want to have the baby. Well, you should have never laid down with her if you didn't want to have a baby. Now you trying to punish the baby because of what you and the mother did. And then you a fool to think your life is going to be blessed with you and your other kids, and you dogging the kid that you don't want to acknowledge. That's some stupid math. You know, in the school now, they said new math. That's stupid math. Oh, I don't want nothing to do with the baby because I told you I didn't want to have the baby. You should have told yourself you didn't want to have the baby. Stop laying down with strangers and not even using any protection. And if I was a celebrity out there or a basketball player, NBA, whatever, I would ask the girl 55 times, are you sure you want to sleep with me? While we doing it, no matter how good I'm feeling, are you still good with me being on top of you? The minute she say no, I'm out. So you got this comedian Joe talking about you made a bad decision. You're grown. You grown. And you sitting here on the road making bad decisions, telling somebody to come back to your room. Now, I'm sorry because it's Sunday, but I'm going to just say this real quick because somebody needs to hear. Find out and figure out how to pleasure yourself so you can stop falling into the okie doke. If you need to be pleasured that much, you need to figure out how to self-satisfy. Because that will never get you in trouble. As long as you're doing it behind closed doors, just self-satisfy. It'll keep you out of lawsuits. It'll keep you out of unwanted pregnancies. Self-satisfy. But you meeting a girl, then calling her to your room, and then the next thing you know, this girl is saying, it is your word against theirs. And let me tell you, 9 times out of 10, you know what the people going to believe? They're going to believe the female. And if you don't get locked up, it's going to cost you a lot of your money. I need Big Nana and them to come out the clubs and stop partying with the kids. And I need the family to get back together. And I need Big Mama, I need Big Papa to start talking to everybody and instilling some value so we can stop the nonsense. Everybody's running amok in this craziness in these streets. And I don't know what did or did not, and he ain't on the docket. I don't know what did or did not happen to Justin Bieber, but he's in a crisis right now. They worry about Wendy Williams. He's in a crisis. He said, sometimes I don't even like myself. He got anger management issues. He said, this not the diva. And when I saw that, my heart broke. My heart broke. I said, here he is, a father. And he's responsible for raising somebody. But how can he raise somebody when he's broken himself? It's sad and it's messy. But it's Sunday. Doing the early trending topics for for me here. The title is called Bad Decisions. And I'm about to bring the people in the building. Y'all know what I need in the chat. I need a what, y'all? I need a choo-choo. All aboard, everybody. It is Sunday. Trending topics. The title is called Bad Decision. We got the coach that snapped. We got the mom that went and swam with the Dolphins. And now she's stuck in Jamaica. And we got the comedian Joe talking about, I had bad judgment. Bad judgment is an understatement. And he's too old for that. But we're going to bring the people on in the building. Hold on right now. Hey, Savannah. Hey, Julius. Hey,
you know, Diva, like Pop said in Friday, you win some, you lose some. And also, like Big Mama said in the second movie, the players change, but the game remains the same. Hit the like button, y'all.
Come on now, Julius. Amen on that this Sunday. Hey, Katrina. Hey, in my opinion.
Hey, Diva. Hey, Chet. Hey, panel. Choo, choo, choo.
Choo, choo, choo. Listen, guys, we're going to go ahead and get right into it. It's something going on with the teachers. Some stories I don't do. I could literally probably be on YouTube all day long sometime with the stories. But there was this teacher, and I didn't do it because it was so vile. This teacher, a female teacher, who actually had a whole multiple sex situation with several schoolboys. And when I read it, I was like, this is unbelievable. This is crazy. Is she serious? But she was. So I say all that to say with this coach, I don't know what's going on with the teachers and the coaches and the people that are working in our school systems. And that's why I encourage everybody, because whether you rent or you own, all the taxes that we pay in the area that we live in, part of those taxes go to help fund these schools. You got rights when your kids go to certain schools. And when it comes to these sports, I think the whole thing needs to be revamped. And if you are, and I don't discourage putting your child in the sport, but if you are, you're going to have to teach them. You win some, you lose some. And whether you won the game or your team lost the game, I still love you, and life is going to go on. And I don't want you beating yourself up. Pick your head up. They're not teaching these kids how to lose gracefully. They're losing their mind when the kids do lose. And sometimes getting the points on the team is all on one or two people's backs. And that is insanity to me. That's not how you coach. You want a real coach? Take your worst player and make them your best player. And now you a coach in my eyes. Have everybody on your team, no matter who you put on that floor, you ain't got to worry. That's a coach in my eyes. But these coaches now, they coach the people that are already good. Player A and player B, throw the ball to them, put them on the floor. They on the floor the whole game. That ain't coaching. Let me get into this. Know why I got worked up on this Sunday here. Hold on one second. Let me get this. Let's talk about this basketball coach. We'll do his story first.
Northville Central School District has fired their high school girls basketball head coach Jim Zullo following a post-game incident with one of the Northville players. I want to warn you that some may find this video upsetting. After Northville's loss in the Class D championship game, Zullo was seen pulling the hair of senior Haley Monroe as the team waited for the medal presentation. The video has garnered a lot of outrage on social media. Zullo told News 10 ABC that Monroe directed an expletive toward him after he instructed her to shake hands with the opposing team, which is what he says led to the incident. We reached out to the Monroe family, but they have not issued a comment at this time. Now, in a statement, the school district saying in part, quote, the Northville Central School District is aware of and deeply disturbed by the conduct of the coach of the girls' varsity basketball team, adding that the district will be following up with the affected players and their families to provide support and outline the actions they're taking in response to the incident.
It looks like they're... hold on one second. So the high school basketball coach fired after angrily yanking players' ponytail on camera. We did see it already there, but just look how vicious and violent this is.
Seniors for an outstanding career. Congratulations as well to Coach Zullo. Came out of retirement to coach this Falcons team. 2 state championship appearances in 2 seasons. I think that's pretty good, Tim.
The big question.
An outstanding career. Congratulations as well to Coach Zullo. Came out of retirement to coach this Falcons team. 2 state championship appearances in 2 seasons. I think that's pretty good, Tim.
The big question.
So an upstate New York high school girls basketball coach has been canned after he yanked the players' hair following their team's loss on Friday. An appalling moment was caught on camera. As you can see, Northville high school player Haley Monroe was already in tears after the game. But to add insult to injury, the 81-year-old coach Jim Zullo appeared to viciously yank her back by her ponytail. In an upsetting moment, Monroe tried to pull away as another player appeared to tell Zullo to stop. But the coach was seen berating her, wagging her finger in her face, and screaming at her. Reports that Monroe, the high school senior and all-time leading scorer, had fouled out of the game before her shocking incident unfolded. Zulo tried to defend himself, telling the news that Moreau allegedly swore at him after he told her to shake hands with the other team. And that's when things went south. The Northfield Central School District released a statement saying they expect the highest standards of professionalism and sportsmanship from their coaches, and Zulo's behavior was totally unacceptable. They made it clear he's done, not just at the school, but in the whole district, and they will be offering support to the players and their families affected by the incident. We reach out to authorities if they're investigating. So far, no word back. It's a mess. Savannah, your thoughts?
This is a complete failure on the school district. His 81-year-old old tail should not have been coaching, regardless of who he is in the community. I think that this was one of probably many instances that these young girls have gone through, and it's shameful, because you can't really pull up on an 81-year-old. That's considered elder abuse, but this man is absolutely abusing a child. Regardless, this is a child. This could be his great grandchild. And kudos to the other young lady on her team who stood up to him and let him know that that is not a proper way to treat a player or a child, a young daughter. And our kids have been going through a lot, and ever since they integrated back into school or were forced to stay home from school due to the pandemic. Yeah, school systems changed policies. It didn't take a lot for anyone to be a teacher or a coach. You could have had a basic local certification and came in, and they trusted our children to all these folks who do not have any emotional control, or in many instances emotional intelligence. And our children are not, it's these teachers, and I have a lot of teachers in my family. The next generation after me, 3 of them have become teachers. So I hear their struggles that they go through now, being in these schools that are poorly funded, not supported by communities, and are they're having to make do with what they have. And now that the Department of Education is going to be cut starting here in a few weeks, things are going to get worse for the teachers, but also more importantly, our students. So I think as a community, we need to get involved. We really do, because more and more people like this are going to be not vetted and coming into our school systems, and will be trusted with the safety and well-being and mental health of our child. Because this young lady is going to feel some type of way. This has gone viral, and I don't. The instance where he says that she refused to shake the hands of another of the winning team. They have yet to have that as evidence, but that still doesn't excuse you putting your hands on a girl and a student and a child at your 81-year-old tail. So I really hope that this community stands up and rally around this team and this young lady, and that he is no longer allowed on any school grounds of any grade or any community events. And he should be ashamed. His family should be ashamed as well.
Yeah, I agree with you. Thank you, Savannah. Julius, your thoughts?
So I'm gonna start out with this. I'm glad his old tail was fired. And I've shared this before. I've experienced this type of thing in my schooling. Being pulled to go and sit out on the bench for being in trouble, being blamed for whatever, being berated for whatever. what I seen, that brought me back to the elementary school. And people want to say he's from a different generation. Doesn't freaking matter. Respect is a two-way street. You don't pull a child's hair.
Mm.
If that was me, I would have cussed at him too. Like the saying goes, you win some, you lose some, and you can continue on. Now, I want to give props to that other girl who was right there when he went and yanked that child's hair. She was like, what are you doing? No, we're not doing that over there. And I'm pretty sure the team who won was like, nah, he needs to be reported.
Mm.
Like, mm-mm. And I don't care how she played on in the game. I don't care. It's not about that. It's not about her being fouled out of the game. Let's put that to the side. It's the fact that you thought it was okay to yank her. Like she was someone who didn't know nothing on the street. And you expected her teammates to just stand there and let you do it? No. So I say this to when people say, yeah, kids are rude. Mm-hmm. Kids are rude. But I will say this. You will let an official pull your hair, yank you like that, and you just gonna take it? No. Y'all need to call people onto the carpet and tell them about themselves because respect is a two-way street,
Mm-hmm.
not just a one-way.
Thank you. In my opinion, your thoughts?
So I think it's very, very, very disrespectful for this grown man to be putting his hand on a child in the first place.
Mm.
Sir,
Mm-hmm.
you are not her father. You ain't her granddaddy. Don't put your hands on nobody else's kids. And then you pulling at her hair. I don't think people understand when you do stuff like that, you can cause a lot of damage.
Mm.
Pulling somebody's hair, you can hurt them in their neck area and everything else. Like you have things that could happen to you. We saw Shanquilla get pulled by her hair. I don't understand this. And this man is 81. He should have been retired, first of all. If
Mm-hmm.
you getting this upset over a game, sir, I'm gonna need you to go take you a chill pill, okay? Sit in your rocking chair and enjoy the last few years of your life. Don't be on the field, okay? Because evidently you don't know the meaning of the game, the meaning of teamwork and all that. Everybody knows you're gonna win some, you're gonna lose some. Boo-hoo. So she lost it. It's not your place to chastise her. That's what she has parents for. As the coach, you could tell her if she was having bad behavior, you could put her out. But you can't chastise somebody else's kid. I'm gonna need him to take several seats back. And if the police don't arrest him for assault, all those parents should have their signs up, okay, and protest because that is an assault.
Whew. Thank you. In my opinion, Katrina, your thoughts?
Okay, Diva, I'm gonna take you left. No,
Mm.
the train is going straight, but let me take you left. In his generation of teaching,
Mm-hmm.
it was probably my generation of going to school. Our teachers, and I told this to many people, would tell us, walk to the bathroom, keep your mouth closed, walk to the lunchroom, don't talk. Okay, you talk, you get back in the room, you get a palate. The next day, you don't talk because you know you're going to get a palate. And I say this as a parent, a grandmother who has a child that coaches. I see my grandkids going through coaches. And I say this as from his generation, no, he should never put his hand on that child at this point now because the rules have changed in the school. They've taken out the structure. They've taken out the responsibility of the teachers being teachers. Now you have the kids about the same age as the teachers, and they don't see no respect in that. And another thing is the problem that this 81-year-old man had to go back to work when he should be on somebody's beach or somebody's rocking chair sitting on a porch somewhere. What was his way? I mean, I'm not saying that he was broke or anything like that, but what was the thing? And maybe he just wanted to do to keep himself alive. And then he asked her to shake the opponent's hands when she lost, and she didn't do it. So she wasn't showing showmanship herself. These coaches are rough, even though they're not supposed to be. But I've seen it, witnessed it, and watched it. They are rough. And like I said, by him being in that age, that's still in his mentality of the teacher's responsibility of teaching the kids and showing them structure. No, he shouldn't have pulled her hair. I'm not going with that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not going with that at all. So don't come for me in the thing chat. But what I'm just saying is, by the way he was growing up, by the way he probably did his coaching skills or whatsoever, they knew what type of coach he was. That's why they brought him back. You don't just start doing that type of coaching in one day. So they knew what type of coach he was. They knew what kind of, he probably had so much restraint on these girls, it's ridiculous. But they knew this. But they was winning games, so they didn't care. And if he would have did that behind closed doors, he still would be coaching right now. Just the fact that it was done in the open, which is still not okay. It's still not okay. But that's what they did. That's the era that I'm quite sure he came from, where the teachers had the permission to paddle your child. I mean, the principal used to paddle us. The coaches used to paddle us. If we did something we had no business, they ain't sending no letter home asking my mom or my grandma and them, can they paddle me? They would paddle me. So what I'm saying is, I'm just thinking that he's coming from that era. And it's sad that an 81-year-old person got to be back in the school to coach. Obviously, he must know what he was doing, because there's no way they would allow him to come back into that school to coach. And he been winning all these games for them. So I blame the school as well, because he ain't just been coaching like this in that day. He just got caught up and got caught in the public. And now they want to fire him. But maybe that's just the way I see it. But that's all I got, Diva.
Whew.
Have the
Wait.
teachers ever been? Have the teachers ever had permission to pull your hair, Katrina?
Listen, don't teach. When I grew up in the country, I went to Pink Dollar Elementary.
I
Them
ain't asked
teachers,
you. I just
listen
asked you.
hard.
Did they
Them
pull
teachers,
your?
listen.
Did they
Them
pull your
teachers,
hair?
listen. Can I feel you? Them teachers will pinch you. They will snatch you up. They will do
Did
what they
they
got to do.
pull your hair?
Yes, I seen them pull the other kids' hair. I ain't seen they pulled it like that, but I have seen it. This is what we grew up. This is how they got us to be structured. This is how we knew to respect them. Because right now, these kids do not respect these teachers. I wouldn't be, they're supposed to ask
Well,
me to
I
be a
don't have
substitute teacher, and I
respect for
said
the
no, because
principal
I
and the
would be
teacher
in
that
jail.
did
These
that to
kids
me.
are these kids these days are very, very disrespectful. I've seen it for myself. I listen to them. They be calling these teachers all kinds of names. The teachers have no structure. And they take a lot just to teach these kids, and they don't get paid. And yes, it starts at home, but when you sending your child to this school and this child disrupting the other kids that want to learn, it's ridiculous and it's sad.
How
That's
about
what
when
I'm
you're
saying.
being
I'm
Okay, so
not
targeted?
saying, you're not listening to
guys,
what I'm
hold on,
saying.
guys,
I
hold
never
on.
said that it was
Okay,
okay for them to pull her hair. I
hold
never
on,
said
guys.
that.
Hold
I
on,
never
guys.
said that.
Katrina, hold on. Is Wayne, you're in the building. What are your thoughts?
You know, first of all, it ain't never right to put your hands on nobody. I don't care when it was.
Mm-hmm.
And I gotta agree with Katrina, part, not all of it, that he probably came back and grew up in a time where you did this. When I was in the fourth grade, the teacher thought I was chewing something. She slapped me. I told my mother, and back then it wasn't really a big, it wasn't nothing made out of it, right? So I think he came through a time where he thought that was okay. Now, but he's coming up through a time to where you step up on the wrong kid, respect for the elderly is gone out the window. Now, probably if that had been me, I'd have slapped the hell out of him. I wouldn't have cared how old he was, and he probably would have fell down, had a heart attack, and been unalived. You don't put your hands on people. I don't care who it is. And these kids are telling their parents, just like that that coach up in Michigan or someplace, Nessa or whatever, been abusing these kids for years, touching them. The doctor. And now he's gone away for life. But he did it for years. It wasn't just a little period of time. He had been doing it for years. And they came forth. Okay. This man, I don't think he came out of retirement because he had no money or something like that. If he had no money by 81, sure ain't gonna do you no good at 81. I think they, like I said, he won games and they wanted him on there. Okay, but he's gonna learn a valuable lesson that you don't touch somebody. Them people probably gonna bring a lawsuit. And I think somebody said that the family is probably ashamed. I doubt the family probably ashamed. They done seen this foolishness before. They ain't spoke on it. He just did it to the wrong one. And that other girl that stepped up and said something, she pushed the other girl, she took her arm and pushed her to the side and got in that man's face like he got in her face. No, you don't do this. I don't think this man should go to jail or none of that. He probably ain't got nothing. He can't pay nothing, but he doesn't deserve to be working with children. And now your little what do you call it? All he's ever done, whatever, coaching teams and all this stuff, and thinking he's a great member of the community. He's doing this with the children stuff. Now he's going out in a bad way.
Yeah.
81 years, you put all that on the line in 81 years, and now you don't have that good coach or whatever. You look like a monster. So good for him. At 81, now you're a big ASS.
Whew, yikes. I'm gonna
Diva,
give it.
can I share just for a quick second?
Yes, quick second.
I just want to say, yes, the kids today are out of control. I'm not saying that.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying is when staff go out of their way to target for no reason, that is completely and utterly unacceptable, and it shouldn't be tolerated. Yes, I know in the olden days, students used to get whooped, all of that. But think about before that, what happened to us as a community in the slave time. That's where that stems from. Respect is a two-way street. That's all I'm saying.
Thank you. I'm gonna end this subject with this and say this. Two wrongs don't make a right. I was never in the punishment. I raised my son. I never put a hand on him. I believe that you can raise good people without beating them down and without the iron fist. I believe you can have good teens without the iron fist. I believe you can correct a bad child's behavior in the teaching environment without an iron fist. There's ways to do things. And you know, a lot of times, you know, I'll defer back because many people are aware of this story and can kind of understand. I refer back to the Diddy situation. A lot of people claim allegedly Clyde Davis did something to him and he continued to do it to a whole lot of others. Wrong is wrong. Whether it's a sexual violation of wrong or it's a physical violation of wrong. Putting your hands on somebody is never an answer and it's never right. It's never right. And I believe in my heart, the way that the one girl was taken up for her teammate, they were used to his bad behavior, unfortunately. I think the parents knew about it. I think the school knew about it. But now that it's out in the open in the public, they want to look outraged and seem outraged. He been running this team with an iron fist. And it just so happened that he pulled, and that's why he was so easily able to just go up to that girl and pull her hair like that. What's in you comes out of you, whether you're happy, sad, or angry. If it's not in you to put your hands on nobody, even when you're angry, your first thought is not going to be to put your hands on somebody. It's a mess. But I could tell the team overall was being run wrong because the girl was boohooing because they lost. And all of these athletes that get into serious depression and tears when they're losing, even the grown-ups. What's the football team was that just lost the big championship? I'm not a big sports person, and he's dating Taylor Swift now. All of them was sitting there looking devastated when they was losing. And I'm like, for real though? Grown-ups looking devastated. Somebody gotta lose. Where's the sportsmanship? This is just insanity. The Chiefs, thank you, Wayne. Kansas City Chiefs, thank you, y'all. They was looking pathetic. I said, I can't believe they sitting here looking distraught. Get up. Thank you, Increased Matters in Super Bowl. Somebody's going to lose. But if you go out there and you give your best and do your best, whether you win or lose, you should be patting yourself on the back. If I had that mentality, right, there's plenty of people that I say was in the same time of starting their channel as me. And they went like this, woo, they skyrocketed to the top. If I was sitting here crying and looking at that, no, instead I pat myself on the back for what I'm doing. This is stupid, this darn sportsmanship thing, lack of. Everybody's losing their mind. I'm gonna roll into the next story because y'all got me worked up on this Sunday. I don't know why I'm worked up with these little topics, but I'm gonna move into the topic with the mom. Went on vacation with her children, and she went swimming with the dolphins, and then an accident happened. Hold on one second. Let me share this screen. Where's this one at?
Tennessee woman is desperately trying to get home after a freak accident on spring break in Jamaica.
While swimming with dolphins, she was badly injured. News 2's Sarah Smith spoke with her just minutes before she went into surgery, and a story you're seeing only on News 2.
A spring break dream vacation to Jamaica turns into a nightmare for Sierra Stockard.
I just felt like I got into a car accident, like the way, like the force of it felt like I was like, boom, like something just happened really bad.
Swimming with the dolphins in what Sierra describes as paradise.
It's like you're going into like a cheerleading position, like you're a flyer on top of the pyramid, and they just push you through the water, and it's like you're gliding through water.
She slips off the dolphin's nose, landing on its dorsal fin, causing a large hematoma. She says they rush her to a hospital near Montego Bay.
I was just in so much pain, like tears were just running down my face.
She underwent emergency surgery, scared she'd never see her 2 young daughters again.
It just looked like something that you would see off of a movie, and I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna wake up.
Sierra also suffers from sickle cell anemia, a disease that causes a shortage in red blood cells.
We need her home because this is just not a good circumstance. This is just not a good situation.
Worried Sierra isn't getting the proper health care, her family is fighting to get her home. A medical flight comes with a hefty price tag that her insurance won't cover.
We've tried to contact the embassy, and basically they can just kind of direct us. They're really, I'm not going to say they've not been a help, but we've really kind of been doing things ourselves, trying to manage the phone calls and contact people to try to get her home.
It was very, I guess, humbling to say the least, but also I'm very grateful to be an American.
Tonight, Sierra is out of her second surgery. Her family says she's in a lot of pain, but in good spirits. There's a fund set up to help her get back to the States and start a full recovery. Bob and Haley.
Whew. Hold on one second. So Tennessee woman suffers blunt force trauma in freak dolphin accident that felt like a car accident. A Tennessee mother was rushed into emergency surgery after she was injured in a freak accident while swimming with dolphins in Jamaica. While on a lavish spring break vacation with her family, 28-year-old Sierra was swimming with dolphins when she slipped and accidentally landed on the animal's dorsal fin. The impact described by her sister, Nevaeh, as a blunt force trauma was so strong that Sierra was sent to nearby hospital before being transferred to Cornwall Hospital in Montego Bay for emergency surgery. She was swimming with the dolphins, and as the dolphins lifted her in the air, Sierra slipped and the dolphin dorsal fin hit her crotch area. Garton wrote on a GoFundMe page organized for the injured Arlington native. This created such a blunt force trauma to the area, it caused her to have a hematoma the size of 3 apples, Garton wrote. Recounting the traumatic event from the hospital, Stalker said that the ocean collision felt like a car accident. It just felt like I got into a car accident, she told the news. The force of it felt like boom, something just happened really bad. It was just so much pain. Tears were just running down my face. Stockwell, who has sickle cell disease, had to undergo 2 blood transfusions in addition to the emergency surgery following the incident. As of Wednesday, she was out of her second surgery. However, Garton said her sister can't manage it all by herself and is desperately asking for help in her return home. The worry-stricken family is now trying to raise $55,000 to get their loved one back to the U.S. We need her home because it's just not a good circumstance, Stockton's Art Kimberly Watkins told the news. We tried to contact the embassy, Watkins added. Basically, they can just direct us. I'm not going to say they've not been a help, but we've been doing things ourselves. As of Saturday, the fundraising page has since raised $19,607 towards the goal. That's her. That's the beautiful children. In a Facebook update on Thursday, Stockwell wrote that she was fresh out of surgery and thanked loved ones for their prayers and support. I just got back to the ward and got those clots removed and some blood in my body, thank God. I'm still needing 2 more units, but 1 bag is better than none. Still no pain medications. So I'm literally thugging this pain out with a smile on my face, she wrote. 2 surgeries with no pain meds. Make sure y'all tell my kids their mama is a gangster. I hope this is 1 step closer to getting my butt back to Tennessee. The bizarre dolphin accident comes just after a young surfer collided with a pod of dolphins that threw him off his surfboard, leaving him seriously injured and unconscious. Eli Anderson, 20, was surfing for his local break at Emerald Beach on the NSW mid-north coast in Australia on December 29th when he suddenly felt like he was hit by a car, eerily similar to the experience that Sierra relayed. The carpenter was thrown from his surfboard and then caught up in a frantic frenzy of up to 20 dolphins blindly hunting for food. Anderson was knocked out cold and suffered a fractured pelvis in a terrifying incident, and he says he is still struggling to deal with the trauma. They came from nowhere, and one of their fins sliced my board, Anderson told the Daily Mail Australia. I was knocked off and then knocked out, so I don't remember much until I was washed up onto the beach. As I came around, I started to count my limbs and check for blood. I was in a lot of pain, but also so confused because I thought it must have been a shark attack. Anderson was surfing with his dad at the beach about north of the coast, harbor, and said they're always wary of sharks in the water, but never dolphins. Savannah, your thoughts?
Ouch, ouch, ouch. I can't even imagine. And with no pain medication at all, Oh, she is brave for what she is enduring. I think as Americans, we go on, and I'm like you, Diva. I don't do excursions. Anything out in the water, I don't play with anything out in the water. That is, I'm not doing no parasailing, no jet skiing, no. But and my family's from Miami. I don't go to the beach. I don't go to the water. I have seen and known many tragedies about the oceans, and anyone that and so as Americans, we go on these trips and these exotic places, and we don't do our research, we don't do our homework, because although dolphins are seemingly cute and can seem docile, they're actually jerks. Dolphins bite, they can pull you under, and if they are frustrated from not being able to mate, they will also try to do things. But and that's just a known fact. I think that definitely, um, when we do these trips, it doesn't matter whether we're going to a sandals resort um, or just even down to Montego Bay. We have to do our homework and our research, even with the wildlife, even with the oceans, rip currents, water temperatures. That's it. I do that as well. I have to know wherever I'm going, and keep me by the pool, keep me by a good margarita station, and I'm safe. But I think this is going to be her. She was careless, and I don't think that the resort or wherever she was at is going to incur much fault, whether it's medically or financially. I think this was her not practicing safe guarding when it comes to these are, no matter what, these are wild animals, and you're going to have to really respect the animal. I don't know what she was doing, standing on his nose or something about his nose,
It kind of like put her up in the air on the nose, and she slipped. She slipped.
But why are you going to stand on the nose of a dolphin? I just don't get that. So it's piss poor judgment on her part. And unfortunately, now she's going to have to go through this pain. And I'm pretty sure they made her sign waivers. And then she's going to incur a lot of rehabilitation and therapy. And it's just the beginning of the warm season too. So I hope the family can raise the money to bring her home and pay for those medical bills.
Yeah. Thank you, Savannah. Julius, your thoughts?
Ooh, her injury, I know it's painful. But at the same time, the quick thought should have gone through her mind to respect the wildlife. Animals give us signals when they rather just do their own thing. And I'm pretty sure that signal was given. She ignored it. And well, here we are. I hope she recovers. I don't want to sound insensitive. I hope she recovers and they raise the money to pay the medical bills.
Thank you, Julius. I appreciate you. Katrina, your thoughts?
Yeah. Won't they leave these wild animals alone? They keep these animals are tired of being captured in captivity and have to perform for people, and the people get paid off their hard work. Leave these animals alone. The sea belongs to the sea world, as we call it. They going into the sea. Them animals ain't coming on the beach getting them. They going out there in their home. They just like somebody trespassing in my home, and I'm protecting my house. Leave them animals alone. They captured the lions, the elephants. These animals just look miserable. And then when the animals act out of character, they want to annihilate them. Leave them alone. Let them stay where they at. Leave them animals alone. If the animals ain't out there bothering you, don't come over there bothering me. They get these animals, put them on there for shows, and making money off these animals. These animals are not happy because they're used to being out and being in their normal habitat. And they going out there just messing with them.
just leave them alone. This is their home. And yes, she went out there and she did excursions or whatsoever, but you never know what a wild animal is thinking because you're not in that animal's brain. And another thing, why they're not giving her pain medicine is because she's in the African American persuasion, because they say Africans can take on a lot of pain. And another thing, let me tell y'all this. I was told this by a very smart person on your panel. She's not here today, which is Miss Felicia. She told me to use my American Express insurance. So if I did get caught up in a situation like this woman is caught up in, that travel insurance will help pay for your costs or your accidents or anything that you have that happened while you're away in another country. It's called travel insurance. And I appreciate her telling me this because I really wasn't thinking about that, because she was like, anything could happen. And if you got that traveler's insurance, it will help you on your way. But like I said, leave these animals alone. Stop bothering them. They ain't bothering y'all. Y'all want them to do all this type of work and all this type of stuff. Leave them animals alone. Let them stay where they at. That's all I got to eat.
Thank you. In my opinion, your thoughts?
So while I do sympathize with the lady and pray that she feel better, you took a very dangerous risk, and you didn't respect your life enough to not do this. I don't understand how any of this sounded logical to her. Like, I would never want to go and stand on top of a dolphin. You don't know when they're going to get agitated, when they're going to jerk, none of that. You should have been thinking of your kids then when you decided to sign up for this. I get the family saying they're trying to get her home now. She shouldn't have took this kind of risk. You don't risk your life for the fun of playing with an animal. You don't do that. I think this is one of the bizarrest cases I've heard of. And I can't even be mad at the situation because it is what it is. Animal gonna be an animal regardless, okay? And you put yourself at risk. I'm sorry that it happened to her, but she put her own self at risk.
She did, and I get, the people saying you got to live your life, but if you know you got sickle cell disease and you prone to certain things, you got to live your life with adjustments to it. Just like if you got an allergy to food, you can live your life, but if you smart, you're not gonna eat that food that you have a severe allergy to. Wayne, your thoughts?
Well, I'm not going to criticize her for doing that. She was on vacation. This was an excursion. People have done it probably many, many times before and didn't get hurt. Okay. People think every shark is Jaws and every dolphin is Flipper. If you don't know who Flipper is, Flipper was a series that ran back in the 60s, I guess maybe early 70s, about a dolphin that was very intelligent, very friendly and all that stuff. Like the boy said, he just said that he thought he got hit by a shark and it was a dolphin because he thought the dolphins were playful and so forth and so on. So I'm not going to criticize for that because she did something that other people have done. Okay, it didn't work out for her and it's unfortunate. At SeaWorld, many of them trainers rode them those killer whales, doing the same thing. They go on their nose, go up in the air, flip and stuff like that. They've done it successful for years. But this one time, one of the trainers did it and lost her life. So sure, she could have done it, not done it and stuff like that, but it looked fun. Unfortunately, she paid the price for it. And as far as GoFundMe's, this is what I think GoFundMe should be for. This lady don't have the money to get out of there. She got to get out the country. She got all that. So I can see GoFundMe's for this to help this woman get out of the country and not like, you shouldn't have gone. You shouldn't have done this. You shouldn't have done that. Well, it's over now. And she learned a lesson. And maybe other people, but still people going to still do it. This is an excursion and it's gone right a lot of times. And obviously it didn't go right. It did not go right a lot because they're still doing it. Okay. It's unfortunate she didn't have some kind of coverage while she was there. And I suggest if you leave in the United States, find some place where you can buy insurance. You can buy insurance for military people. They can buy it through USAA. Other places, you can buy an insurance policy, medical insurance policy, to cover you while you're in that country. I don't know what Jamaica's policies are. I don't know if she have to pay all that money before she leaves. And if she don't have the money, if you don't get blood from her turnip, if she don't have it, I don't know what they're going to make her stay there, be homeless, work to pay it off. So I'm not going to criticize it. She wanted to have some fun, and it just turned out the wrong way.
Well, thank you. I appreciate y'all and your commentary on that particular story. I'm going to roll into the last story where this comedian, again, these are all bad decisions. That's the title for tonight. This comedian said, he had a misjudgment. But now a young lady is saying that she's doing a whole TikTok series because that's the thing now. Everybody want to do a series, a part 1, 2, 3, 4, 20 or whatever. Or since that girl did the series on Why Did I Get Married or whatever her name of her series was, and she got all these accolades, a talent agent and all of that. So now everybody figure they're going to do a whole series with their situation. So former Impractical Joker star Joe Gatto accused of SA-ing TikToker when she was 19. TikToker user Jews ZYB posted a series of videos to the platform alleging the comic sexually aided her in September of 2023. Former Impractical Joker star Joe is facing accusations of SA on a 19-year-old woman. In a Thursday, March 20 TikTok video, the user said, "I got essayed by Joe, the Impractical Joker." In a separate TikTok video, she detailed how she met the comedian while he was performing in Milwaukee in September 2023. She began the video by explaining that she, her sister, and her mother saw him at a restaurant during brunch and asked to take a photo. She revealed later that day she messaged him, now 48, via Instagram in hopes of receiving a free ticket to his comedy show. He then get her 2 show tickets and the meet and greet tickets to his Milwaukee show at the Pabst Theater. Per his calendar, Gatto was in Milwaukee on September 8, 2023. After the show, the TikToker who attended the show alone took a photo with him at the event and then returned home. She claimed that while she was speaking with her roommate, they were drinking and she was messaging him via Instagram direct messages. "I was drunk, whatever." And he was texting me all this stuff. And it was starting to get a little weird, the TikTok user claimed in the video. She claimed that after their initial conversation, Joe put the messages in vanish mode. Vanish mode is a setting when users send each other disappearing messages, photos, videos, and other content in Instagram chats that will disappear when someone leaves the chat or turns the mode off, per Instagram. She then alleged that he gave her instructions on how to get to his hotel. Upon arrival, she said, "Somebody led me to the elevator and somebody was on the elevator with me and pressed the button." While she did not go into detail about what allegedly happened next between her and Joe, she alleges some stuff happened. The TikToker then showed an image from the hotel and showed a timestamp of September 9th, 2023 at 2:26 a.m., claiming that's when she left the hotel. As she concluded the video, she said, "I've been wanting to tell people this for so long. I tried in different ways, but it's hard with somebody's this big. Come to the realization that if I do say something, that I really that I'm really saying something. Before posting a TikTok video detailing the alleged incident, she uploaded a TikTok montage of photos they took together before the alleged encounter and alleged screenshots of their conversation. She then uploaded another TikTok shortly after of just an image of a bruised buttock, which she alleged occurred from the encounter with Gatto. Yes, he did SA me. Yes, he had just gotten back together with his wife. I'm sorry you guys don't want to hear it, but she captioned the photo TikTok. Now, people reached out to his representatives and the TikTok user for a comment. Gatto announced in January 2022 via Instagram post that he was exiting the popular True TV hidden camera television series after a decade due to some issues in my personal life. Alongside my friends, I devoted a decade of my life to building this franchise and couldn't be prouder of what has been accomplished. However, due to some issues in my personal life, I have to step away, he continued. He also noted that he and his wife, Bessie Gatto, decided to amicably part ways following their 2013 marriage. Since that initial announcement, Joe and his wife, Bessie, announced in September 2023 that they got back together. I don't know what they're doing now. It's a lot. Savannah, your thoughts?
So this incident was recent as early as 2023.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not familiar with this person or this show. I have heard of Impractical Jokers before. And I'm confused by the story, honestly, because so he essayed her, but then she kept messaging him for tickets, or I'm not certain. I'm just, here's a 19-year-old making poor decisions with her life, with her body, chasing, because I'm pretty sure he's almost 50, in his 40s, almost 50. So somebody who's old enough to be her father. And, you know, if there was an incident of SA, then my heart goes out to her. But this generation, they handle everything on TikTok, social media, instead of going to the authorities, instead of going through the proper channels. There's always trial by jury through social media first, and it opens her up for either ridicule or accusations or people not believing her, and it doesn't make any sense to me. Whether he did this or not, I'm not sure if he's admitting to it or he's claiming I'm working on myself like they always do, like Kevin Hart did, Matt Rife, you know, comedians. Even Dave Chappelle was accused at one time of having extramarital affairs. So I'm just confused by the story in this 19-year-old. I hate that they constantly run to social media instead of going through the proper channels. Because if there was an incident of SA, then you were violated, young lady, and your parents should have taken you to the authorities and go through the proper channels, and don't do it through social media.
Exactly. Not only that, because it was 2023, no statute of limitations have ran out, so go to the cops. Julius, your thoughts? And not TikTok.
Everybody knows, I've talked about this plenty of times, I am a survivor of SA. But I was always taught from a young age, you tell a trusted person. Keyword, I want to emphasize this, so I'm going to get up. Because I know I'm going to shake the comment of what's popular right now, and I don't care. Tell a trusted person, and then have that person tell the exact people, the cops, etc. Not run to social media. It's the times now. The kids today post everything on social media. It's like they post who they beefing with, who they fighting with. Oh, this happened, that happened. And unfortunately, even circumstances like these. She should know before she posted it on the tickety talk. She should have went to the cops. So you want to do the crying games? That's why you posted it on TikTok, because this person is a public figure? I'm not gonna accuse her of anything, but I am apprehensive of her accounting. And especially if her mom was right there, then the mom should know better, and she should have went to the police immediately.
No. So y'all gotta stay connected to the story. She went when she was with her mom and her sister when they recognized him in a restaurant. And she asked for a picture, or they asked for a picture, whatever. They get the picture. When she is home, she starts messaging him on Instagram because she wants free ticket. Buy your own goddamn tickets.
She a fool.
Buy your own tickets.
Thanks for telling me that part.
Well, that was part of what I read.
Yeah.
So hold on, Julius. So she messaged him for these tickets, and she was messaging him after she went to the show, and they were sending disappearing messages. And then she said, "Oh, this is getting weird." If you said the messages are getting weird, why would you go to his hotel?
Correct.
So hold on, Julius. Let me go to Katrina. Katrina, your thoughts?
Yeah, Diva, I'm with you. If you send, and then first of all, you said that y'all was texting each other back, and then you said the message was weird. But then you said you was drinking, and you left and went to his hotel. You can even push the button. Somebody had to push the button for you to get to his room. Then you get to the room. You say he SA'd you, and this was in 2023. And now you coming out with this story in 2025. And this man saying he's gonna get back with his wife. Are you mad because the man finna get back with his wife? And you trying to come out with this accusation? I'm not saying that it didn't happen. Don't come and be in chat. But I'm just saying, this man saying he's getting back together with his wife. Did you get mad about this situation? Because if he SA'd you, yes, and a lot of people don't go to the cops or whatsoever. But girl, you sit up and saying that the messages was weird. If the message was weird, you should have cut it off right then and there. You set up and saying that you was drinking, and then you went over to his hotel. So what you thought you gonna play Uno? Come on, be for real. You know what I'm saying? Be for real, Deepa. You going to this man hotel at whatever time of night, and you sit up and saying you drinking, and no, she do not. Um, I'm not saying it's okay for him to SA her or whatever. If that happened in the hotel room, I'm not there. I wouldn't dare to see it. I don't know. But I'm just saying, girl, you're not going over there to play Uno. You saying the man is sending you these type of messages and you took your butt over in there. And now you coming back saying that this happened, that happened. You showing bruises of your butt or whatsoever. And you didn't go to the cops. And this man said he's been get back together with his wife. But now you saying that all this happened. Then you put it on TikTok. Go to the authorities. We don't need to hear about it. Because you the one that went over there at 10 o'clock at 10 o'clock at night, thinking that you just gonna go play Uno. Okay, whatever. Next story, Diva. But that's all I got.
Thank you. In my opinion, your thoughts?
This whole thing sound messy. First of all, what is the 19-year-old doing drinking?
Come on now, you talking?
Last I checked, you had to be 21 or older to drink.
You talking?
Where you getting this alcohol from that you drinking? My next thing was, if you went to the concert, you got your free tickets, you win. Why are you still messaging him?
Come on now, talk.
See, when people talk, they love to talk. And then when they talk, they give you these little tidbits, and people miss the subliminal message that's in there. All the things that she's done wrong, she's putting in these dang TikToks. But you want us to believe that this man did something to you, but you kept messaging him like you were trying to bait him in. Okay? You went over there drunk. Was it 10 o'clock or 2 o'clock,
Well,
Diva?
see, that's the other thing, right? You went
Uh-huh.
over there drunk. It was 10 o'clock at night, and you was leaving at 2 something in the morning.
Okay. What you
traumatized and you chronicalizing the time that you left? She took a picture in the hotel to chronicleize the time that she was leaving the room. You still there, in my opinion? Can everybody else hear me?
I can hear
I
you.
hear you.
Okay, I don't know.
Like I said, I get what you're saying, Diva. She probably just got mad because that man said he was gonna go back with his wife. I'm not
Yeah,
saying that this
that's what
stuff
it
didn't
sounds
happen
like. I'm
to her.
connecting with
I'm
that
just
too.
saying she coming with some games. She coming with some games, and like in my opinion said, where did she get
what
the
you thought he
alcohol
was
from?
gonna do?
Should be
She gone.
Yeah,
I
she go.
guess she thought they was gonna
Let
play
me go
Uno.
to Wayne for a minute. Go ahead, Wayne.
You know, Reed, she ain't go to the police because the police ain't got no money to give her. TikTok got a bunch of money to give her on something like this. And she's so drunk, but you can chronicleize. And when you drunk like that, you can barely walk. And the thing about this is that, I know people say, oh, victim shaming, blah, 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 blah. I think it's victim shaming if you saw somebody and they attacked you and all this stuff, but you openly go into a hotel room with somebody and then you're going to write about it. And then if you're going to try to do a lawsuit, see, when you go on TikTok, you make people believe those things that are not.
Ooh,
as though they are.
Come on,
You
you
get
better
up there, you put all this stuff, and everybody comes out, oh my God. So you just put out there, and now these people believe those things that didn't really happen because you said it. And everybody, when it comes to R, you do have compassion for people. You do. Well, what about the person that, if you claim and did the R or SA, didn't do it? What if none of this happened? What if this is all a story and people have come back and said, well, I lied because I didn't want my mom to know I went out at night. Now this man, because I've watched that in that show, and now 10 years has a black stain on it because somebody chose to do that. She 19, she wasn't 15, she wasn't 14. 19 years old, you got a whole lot of sense. And you know darn well you shouldn't be going up to somebody's room.
After you was texting and said the text got weird, why would you go?
And you go. Now we're supposed to believe, if we're supposed to believe what she's saying, then we're supposed to believe that this man is guilty. There's no evidence of that. Based on her word. Her mouth ain't no prayer book.
Oh my God.
Diva, can
So
I ask
I'm not saying it happened. I'm not saying it did happen. I'm not saying he did. I'm not saying he didn't do it. Show me the evidence. I'm done.
I appreciate you.
And did she get a taxi to leave the hotel? How did she get home? Because she said she was drunk. She couldn't even push the button. So how did you get to the hotel? Did you have a cab to bring you? Did a cab pick you back up?
I think she's saying she didn't push the button. Somebody pushed it for her because she don't know. She can't probably say what hotel room, what room number he was in or whatever, right? So that I think was her reason for saying somebody pushed the button for it. Somebody did this, somebody did that. I think that's the reason why she said
Diva,
that.
can I share?
Okay.
Go ahead, Julius.
So I had to look up this person. He didn't look familiar to me, but now he has a second accuser.
Oh, he does?
Yep. Within the last hour.
Ugh. Well, see, there's the other thing too, right? That unfortunately, once one person comes out, somebody else comes out too. Again, yeah, I see. Oh, a former employee, inappropriate. She's saying inappropriate behavior. You, I don't know what to say. Listen, he could be a whole predator. But my thing is, there's just some things I'm not understanding now. Okay, so let's listen. Thank you, Julius, for sharing that. And then Impractical Jokers, Joe Gatto accused by a second woman, a former employee, of inappropriate behavior. In the wake of the initial allegations, which Gatto has denied, another woman is speaking out about the comedian's allegedly inappropriate behavior. Just days after the woman accused Joe of SA, a former employee has come forward about her negative experiences with the comedian. On March 20th, a TikToker who user goes by, we read that one, accused the Impractical Jokers star 48 of essaying her when she was 19 in a series of now deleted videos. Oh, I wonder why she deleted them. Now that's interesting. Allegations which Gatto has denied. Now, a second woman, a source who's previously worked for Gatto during his time on Impractical Jokers, claims that the comedian exhibited unwanted behaviors that she described as sexual harassment. When reached on Sunday, March 23rd, a rep for Gatto referred people to the comedian's previous statement, the page 6, in response to the other lady's allegations. The March 2022 statement said, "I used poor judgment and as a result has violated the trust of the people I love most. But anyone who knows me at all knows full well that I wouldn't assault anyone." The second complaint did not allege that she was assaulted. "Working on myself is an ongoing process," the statement continued, "and I'm now going to take some time away from the public eye to focus my energies where I need to." The second woman tells people that she first met Joe at one of his live shows when she was 15. Oh my God. And claims that as soon as she turned 18, his behavior shifted, becoming very flirtatious. She was employed by the comedian prior to his departure from Impractical Jokers, which he announced in late 2021. Before she started the job in August 2019, just after graduating from college, one of the comedian's previous employees allegedly warned her that she perceived him to sometimes be flirty and handsy. The employee also told her that Joe often tells inappropriate jokes and advised her to shut it down immediately if she didn't, if he did anything creepy, the source claims. I'm gonna say this, and again, this is general. This is not judgment towards anybody. But if somebody's warning you that you're about to go in the jungle and get attacked by the lions, tigers, and bears, why would you go in that jungle and continue that job when you can get a job anywhere else? That just doesn't make sense to me. And she says she quickly learned why the warning was issued. During her time working for the Impractical Joker star, the source alleges he occasionally inappropriately grabbed her and asked for back massages. She also claims Gatto once invited her to his room or asked her to cuddle. Gatto also made frequent inquiries into her sex life, she alleges. The source also says that he would brag often about being in an open relationship with his wife, Bessie, a claim she now suspects was false. The couple, who shared 2 kids, split in 2021 after 8 years of marriage and later got back together. Gatto privately responded to her posts on social media to tell her she's hot and acted possessive, getting jealous when she would post photos of her actual boyfriend, she claims. When she rejected his advances or refused to flirt black, Joe would be rude to her the following day at work. The source claims, noting that she felt as though she always had to work to keep him at ease, fearing she could lose her job. This was part of a larger pattern of alleged emotional manipulation, according to the source, which continued until she left his employment in August 2021. The source also claims that the comedian once grabbed her upper thigh while the two were in a hotel elevator during a work trip. In response, she moved across the elevator while Joe allegedly told her he knew that he would make her uncomfortable during the trip. During another work trip, the source alleges Joe insisted his employees come back to his room to drink, despite publicly claiming to be sober in interviews. Oh my God. And frequently boasting that he's never had a sip of alcohol before. Good God. In the office, which was actually a 2-bedroom apartment, Joe frequently joked about bringing girls up to the freight elevator so they would not have to go through the building lobby, something the source says reminded her of the young lady's TikTok testimony. And essentially the TikToks, she alleged that she was SA'd by Joe while he was in Milwaukee for a show in September 2023. She claimed that Joe sent her instructions on how to get to his hotel room, and somebody led me to the elevator before the alleged assault occurred at the hotel, leading to bruising on one of her buttocks. While she did not go into detail about what allegedly occurred next between her and Joe, she claimed that some stuff happened. Thank you for that.
This
Julia?
is just messy. Oy vey. Word of the year, y'all. Keep to your own person.
Is very messy. At this point, I won't be surprised if more people come out. That young lady, if somebody's warning me about danger on the job, then I'm not going. When I was applying for jobs, like if I was looking for jobs, if there was a job and I asked the question, okay, am I replacing somebody that retired? I always ask about how the open position came about, because if people are just constantly leaving that role or that position, it has got to be something a little bit more to it. If you get what I'm saying, right? If somebody retires, that's different. You kind of understand that. But if there's high level turnover in certain jobs and certain positions, that gives you a little insight. If you have the outgoing person coming to tell you that this man, he likes it, just like they said, did he like to walk around with no clothes on and you would still go work for him? Not me. Felicia, you're in the building. You got any thoughts on this story?
No, I just came up to say, hey, backstage. Hey, everybody.
What's up, Miss Felicia?
Well, hey, everybody. Well, listen, I'm going to close out with this. We'll stay connected to this story, but it seems like this Joe is a whole problem. He's a whole problem. And it seems like his wife, sometimes, it's very unfortunate. I get when people become used to somebody. It seems like his wife is used to shenanigans and she rather stay than leave. But I wonder now in 2025 if she had enough. Now that all of these other accusations are coming out about him. It's you get into different trouble when you are the boss, and you're in a work situation and you are, preying upon someone. It's a whole nother level of extra that comes upon you when that happens, because now technically that person can not only sue you, but you getting the job in trouble. They could sue the job too. It's a mess. But Joe got to get his life together. But I wonder if this young lady either got a lawyer or something. It's something as to why she decided to take those TikTok videos down. And I think, in my opinion, it's part of what you and I are connecting to. You kept messaging him, and we're not saying that anything that could have happened to her is right, but you kept messaging him. Then you doing these timestamps. And the reason why I'm saying that is he seemed to be a very careful predator, because you see this one that's speaking up now. She met him when she was 15, but he didn't progress things until she was 18. Because it seems like he has something to do with this. He knew about, I guess better than the Diddy or some of the other ones, allegedly. He knew, like, I'm going to wait till the person is of age. Because the girl says she was violated at 19, and this second one is saying at 18 is when he started to turn it up, so to speak. What a hot mess. Anyway, guys, I thank y'all for being here for my early Sunday trending topics. I truly appreciate it. Y'all know the routine. If you didn't hit that like button on the way in, hit the like button on the way out. Thanks again. Good night and goodbye, everybody. Choo choo.